We have started learning about outcomes and probability and what are your chances of getting certain things in a game. What are the chances of certain outcomes happening? Now, today we're going to talk about even chances. An even chance means that there's an equal chance that this will happen or this will happen. So for example, I have two cards right here, okay? One is orange and one is green. You can't see that right now because I'm hiding them. I am going to choose a card and you're going to guess. Do you think I'm going to choose the green one or the orange one? Now, one is green and one is orange, so you can, totally lost my train of thought. One is green and one is orange, which means that there is an equal chance that I will choose your color. I can only choose one, there's two, okay? So choose your color, green or orange. All right, here's the color, ready? Ha-ha! Green. I chose green yesterday too. Man, this green card just likes to get picked a lot. If you chose green, you win the game. If you chose orange, I'm sorry, you lost the game. But you had an equal chance, all right? Half of the cards were green, half of the cards were orange. Half is a fraction term that we learned already. And half just means that if we were to take all of the things and divide them equally between two bowls, each bowl would have the same number. So if I have 10 fingers, let's say, and I want to divide them equally between my two hands, I would put 5 on one hand and 5 on the other. I cut them in half, see? They're in half now, and they're both equal. I have 5 on one side, 5 on the other. When you're cutting things in half, you need to have the same number on both sides. That's how you know it's cut in half. So today in your work, you're going to be doing things like taking lines and cutting those in half. You're going to have circles and you're going to have to color half of the circle. For some of you, this is going to be very, very simple, mind-numbingly simple. If it's super easy, enjoy your time outside. Hopefully it's a nice day. If you're struggling, I want you to keep thinking about making sure that both sides have the same number. That's how you know that it's been cut in half. And when things are in half, that tells us that the chances, if they're outcomes that we've cut in half, our chances are even. We have an even or equal chance of both things happening. Let's open your book and see exactly what you're going to do today. You're on page 206 to 208 today, and you're doing a whole lot of work about half. So in this one, you're going to color shade half of the pieces in each of these pies or boxes, all right? And you're going to tell me how many pieces are there in half of the pie, how many pieces of there are in the whole pie. If you remember back to fractions, if you put a line in between these, you've got a fraction, okay? So this is simple fraction work, really. Now we're going to see if you remember how to divide. You're going to divide always by 2 because dividing by 2 is the same as cutting something in half. So if I have 8 grapes and I'm going to put them in 2 bowls, how many grapes will be in each bowl? Right? If I have 18 grapes, 2 bowls, how many grapes in each bowl? Right? All of these are grapes into 2 bowl questions. Then we're going to come down to number 3. Here's a number. Cut that number in half. When you cut it in half, you're dividing by 2. So if you had 8 divided by 2 up here somewhere, you already know the answer. And then you're going to notice that if you add this middle number together, it equals the top number. 5 plus 5 is 10. 5 plus 5 is 10. Something plus something is 8. Something plus something is 14. When you double numbers like this, those are the really good ones to make sure you have completely memorized because those come up all the time. And number 4, you've got a bunch of lines. You need to circle half the lines so that you have 2 equal sets. So you have 2 lines here, 2 lines over there. Okay, circle half the lines here so you have the same number of lines in the circle as out of the circle. Coming over to number 5, 5 is basically the same as number 4, except you're using triangles here. In number 6, it says shade 1 less than half of the squares. So first I want you to figure out how many squares are half. Well, I have 6 here. I know that half of 6 is 3. So if I was coloring in half, I would color 3. But I'm going to do 1 less. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So I'm only going to color 2. So figure out what half is. Subtract 1 and then color in that number. In number 7, you're kind of doing the opposite of what you did in number 6. Figure out what half is and then shade 1 more than half. So in A again, I know that half of 6 is still 3, but I'm shading 1 more than that. So 3 plus 1 is 4 boxes. Okay, good. And then you're going to turn over and do number 9. There's 3 spinners here, and you're going to say how many parts of the spinner are shaded. So the colored in parts, and how many parts are there in total. Now, at the end of doing these, you're going to circle the spinner if exactly half of the spinner is shaded. All right? Now, they don't have to be beside each other. You notice there's some shaded, some not. They don't all have to be in one clump to be half. They can be separate like these ones. If those are half, I mean, I don't know. But you're going to know because if you have the shaded parts and you say this number plus this number should equal this number. And if that happens, it's half. All right, have fun today.